Are you looking for the best laptops for interior design? In this video, we will look at some of the 6 best laptops on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Acer Nitro 5. This is probably as much power as 90% you will need, and guess what? This laptop is not that expensive, and it usually sells for $900 as it gets 1650 GTX GPU, but it sells for $650 to $780, depending on the year you buy it. It has its ups and downs. At the moment, more or less, our budget and the current laptop, 940MX, does not even come close to the 1650 GTX and the 9th generation CPU. It's not just a cheap accessible GPU for most people, but it's more powerful than modern entry-level GPUs. It got many more cores and plus 2GB extra VRAM than an MX150, 1050, 1050Ti, which is ironically selling at a higher price right now. Now I have to admit that it can be a little too much for most of you because I'm sure you're not trying to get into the 3ds Max, but if it's cheap, then there's no way to get that extra power. It won't hurt. Catch one as soon as possible. You can render it through any laptop. The question is, how briskly will you be capable of work in it? Rendering is mostly CPU bound, which means you need a more powerful CPU than a GPU. It has a 9th generation Core i5 CPU, a mid-range of the latest generation, which goes beyond 4 GHz. This was the frequency of the workstation clock in my day. That's enough to perform. One thing to reduce the rendering times is to upgrade the RAM to 16 GB. You can take it to any PC retailer, and they will make it as free as possible for you because it is simple and easy. Number 2. MacBook Pro. The most obvious choice for laptops with a great form factor and a lot of power. Probably the least anticipated laptop here. But you know, we've used the MacBook a couple of times, and there's been no problem with any interior design software. You can run either VMware Fusion or Boot Camp. If you need to dedicate every piece of hardware to software, you can use Boot Camp if you are trying to run 3ds like Max/Revit. What 3D modeling software can you run on Mac OS X without the credit of Boot Camp/VMware Fusion? All but 3ds Max. When I used VMware Fusion to run Windows on VM, MacBook gave me no problem. I remember running AutoCAD 2013, SketchUp, Modo 901, and Rhino, and it was on 2012 MVP. But obviously, if you make models with rivets and render with 3D Max and use them together in Photoshop, Illustrator, and DDesign, you'll be better off with a full-blown Windows laptop or a Boot Camp running on a MacBook Pro. First, you have to have a dedicated GPU. It is only available with 1.5 models. The current Pro version is better, graphics card will be more powerful. Second, you need to see if your provider uses dedicated GPUs to speed up performance. This is probably the case, and then check if this provider supports AMD GPUs instead of NVIDIA is. For example, most GPU providers take advantage of CUDA courses. This is NVIDIA. VRT is an important example. While other providers like V-Ray Advance mostly rely on CPU and RAM. So if you have got a DGPU or no DGPU, will find the difference. Number 3. Acer Predator Helios 300. The screen is Full HD 15.6 inches, with LED backlit IPS technology offering 1920 by 1080 pixels. It has Intel i7-10750H clocked at 2.8 GHz, which can be expanded to a maximum of 3.8 GHz. Its RAM is 16 GB DDR4/2400. This NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 is paired with a 6GB graphics card with 6GB dedicated GDDR5 VRAM, and the storage is 512GB SSD. As far as ports are concerned, there are 2 USB 2.0 ports, 2 USB 3.0 ports, 1 HDMI and SD card reader, 1 Ethernet, 1 headphone/microphone jack. The notebook measures 15.3 by 10.5 by 1.1 inches and weighs 6 pounds. It is supported by Windows 10 Home OS. In short, it checks all of the bins for inexpensive laptops appropriate for each work and video games. It is compact and movable. The show is crisp and clear with large viewing angles. The hardware is highly effective, the keyboard is comfy, and it's a movable package deal at an affordable and aggressive worth. Number 4. Asus ROG Strix Scar 3. The most powerful laptop out of the list and the thickest, ugliest. But there is no way around it. If you want the most powerful components on a laptop, it will get thicker and heavier. This is a laptop computer for inside designers, positively not me, with beautiful large models/sketches in 3ds Max/Rhino on their portfolios. They need to find laptops with 1060 GTX/1660T/2060 RTX to perform with large frame rate/large rivet models, and 1070 GTX/2060 RTX easily handle large models in Rhino/3D Max. And more importantly, a high-end Buffy CPU, the latest generation, ranks 10th in this regard. I feel the weight and think how bad it is to place this laptop on a table or move it around. If you are discouraged by price or shape, remember to look for a laptop with similar specs. MSI, Roger is a good brand for looking for gaming laptops with beef glasses. Number 5. Microsoft Surface Pro. Here comes the beast. I agree that it is a bit valuable but just as commendable. This will give you a polished computing experience. Microsoft Surface Pro has different price ratings, but this is the best laptops for interior design. Microsoft has a 7th generation Intel Core i7 processor with 4GB of RAM and 128GB SSD of storage. The laptop clock speed is very high at 2.2 GHz. The distinctive promoting level utilized by Microsoft on this product is its battery backup. Microsoft says it will possibly run for hours with non-energy backup. Number 6. HP Pavilion 15. This HP laptop is perfect for interior designers because it has a fast processor. You will get a 9th generation Intel Core i5-9300H processor. This processor is the quad-core, which gives you a speed of 2.4 GHz, and with dual boost technology, this processor gives a speed up to 4.1 GHz. On the RAM side, this laptop has 8GB DDR4-2400 SDRAM. With the latest processor and good RAM, you can easily do multitasking on this device. Now let's check out the graphic efficiency and show of this laptop computer. This gadget has realistic graphics with NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050. This graphics card has 3GB of GDDR5 dedicated memory, which is great for hardcore users. You will enjoy NVIDIA Pascal architecture for amazing speed and power capability. This HP laptop's display size is 15.6-inch diagonal FHD IPS anti-glare micro-edge WLED backlit display, which gives a speed of 1920 by 1080 with a 60 Hz refresh rate. This display is brighter and gives real color. The internal storage of this laptop is 256GB PCIe NVMe M.2 solid-state drive. This SSD is faster, and you'll get more data to switch pace and fast boot. Battery life is as much as 10 hours once you combine in use.